Hello and welcome back to another Sifu G podcast, Esoteric Warrior. And tonight we're talking about the bridge. I'm not talking about a bridge that we drive over, we're talking about the forearm bridge fighting, limb destruction. As you know, many of my videos are on hammer fist striking. I've done a video not long ago for the UFC fighters. If they understood how to use the hammer fist, half the job would be done very quick and less damage you'll be taken from going punch for punch, right? If you can take out that person's bridge, which kill means bridge, right? Starting from your fingertips up to your shoulder, right? But in Chinese martial arts, we talk about Kui Sau, and so much time is spent, years, on conditioning and sharpening the bones, right? Just like a chef sharpening all his knives, we need to sharpen our tools, and that's why we have iron palm, iron fist, iron forearms. And to the traditional, real, old school Sifus of the past and up to now, some of us older generation that's been around for a while now, in the southern martial arts, the forearm, especially the Haka arts, our bridge is our main weapon. So we attack and destroy our opponent by attacking their limbs, right? So just like a Thai boxer, they're known for their leg, like their kicks. Well, in Southern Kung Fu, our bridge is supposed to be as equivalent and as hard as a good kicker, such as a Thai boxer, just in comparison, right? But a leg to an arm, you don't soy kill a leg shin to your forearm. That's not how you smash a leg. It will just get your arm broken. But there's many ways of conditioning, and that is a major part of Southern Kung Fu. My style is, a lot of it, as you know, is hammer fist training. I believe in it so much because I've used it and I know that it can cause damage, that they need to get tendons and muscles re-sewn back to the ligaments and all that, re-sewn back on to the bone, and that just tears it. In the Haka arts, there's many styles that use the hammer fist strikes, and there's a few of them, such as the Dragon Shadow, the Longying. They got a form called Soy Kill, smashing bridge, right? So that's one of their ways of attacking is hammer fist, because if you break your knuckles in a fight, your hand, that's one weapon gone. So a hammer fist used at the right time, with the right footwork and angles, 9 times out of 10 you're going to connect. Doing it wrong and not understanding how to generate the power in a short space without telegraphing is another thing. And if you do it wrong, and it can be your worst nightmare in a fight, will get you knocked out or killed. So it's a massive part of Chinese martial arts, the bridge, right? Southern and northern, right? So because you got all these different types, right? You got Chai Sao from Southern Mantas, Chi Sao from Wing Chun, Mo Sao, Bap Mei, Toi Sao, in the push hands from Tai Chi and all that, right? But each one of them develops the shoulder, the elbow, the wrist power, and other attributes to build the body. So it's all about listening, sensing to your opponent by touching. So the Chinese martial arts believe that we need to get somehow to that person's bridge. And so much time is put in the training on bridge. And as much as I agree to it, the downfall to it is you need to get to the bridge of that person first. They're not just going to let you always walk up and put a bridge and hit them or stick or any of that we do in training. And remember, in training, it's always, there's 50-50, everyone's got their bridge perfect and everyone's at the right distance for the grinding or the push hands. So unless you're doing competition, then you've got to have to fight to get that position, center of balancing. So doing it in a more combative way rather than just doing it for harmony and sticking and learning just that aspect of it. How do we first get to the bridge? And then from the bridge, you've only got a millisecond to what's he going to follow up? Are you reading his body posture, his what his next move is? There's bridging on the outside and the inside of the bridge. There's fighting from under the bridge, over the bridge. There's shattering the bridge, breaking it, locking. There's from the bridge, throws and sweeps. And of course, bridging, trapping, striking, clawing. The list goes on. So the bridge is so important for the Chinese Kung Fu people that many should be also concentrating on establishing their striking into the bridging range, right? Kind of like what Bruce Lee was on about with his Jeet Kune Do. He'll use a bilji into a trap, into this, into the pak sao, da-da-da-da-da, right? But you can only do that you can only learn via experience. And you can do that with light sparring, with forearm pads on and the right body armor. And you can do it light, and you'll quickly understand if you understand how to use the hammer fist, because a quick feint and not knowing how to read a feint, and you try to soy kill that, you're going to get a check left hook or 1-2 down the pipe. So there's a full fighting method and concepts, principles on just the bridge. So in between, like I said before, you got forms, you got to do stance work, you got to do all this strength training and conditioning, meditation, qigong, weapons, lion dance. And then in class you might be doing some pad work and a little bit of sensitivity and conditioning and whatnot. So if we strip away the forms and pick the best type of hammer fist out of your style, as you know, hammer fist is one of my main specialties. I've created my own fighting system based on the hammer fist. I know that a lot of like karate use looks like a block, it's a hammer fist. as well. It's not just a break. Filipino arts, the Panatukan, that's all hammer fist. I remember hammer fist, you can put a pen, a knife in it, and it becomes now a blade is perfect. Ice pick, stuff like that. So using a hammer fist can be good for the street, for sure. In a competition, did you see last weekend's fight at the UFC Vegas 78 with Khalil Roundtree versus Chris Dukas? Oh, that was awesome. All right, so going back to my past few videos back where I said the UFC fighters, if they incorporate the hammer fist into their arsenal, it will change the game. Hats off to Khalil Roundtree. Massive fan now. I would love to be able to give him some awesome hammer fist drills. He can do on pads, and it will be able to work it into his game. Any UFC fighter, hit me up. Guarantee what Carl Roundtree did with Chris Dukas. Like I said, if you know how to use the hammer fist at the right timing, and this comes through experience, if you're slow with the hammer fist and don't know your shoulder circles and all that, it's too slow against the jab. So most fighters, not all, but most, if I watch most UFCs, they'll come out, touch gloves, and then they'll shape up, and then they'll establish their distance by throwing out like a lazy jab. That is perfect time, and that is what Khalil Roundtree did. He capitalized on the person trying to establish his distance by putting out the jab, and of course it wasn't a strong jab. He was able to throw a fast hammer fist to the guy's forearm, and Chris, when you watch the footage, it hits, and the retraction of the arm, how he retracts it, is a kinematic response to pain. And of course he's pulled that back. He had a perfect headshot after that. That wasn't just the first strike, right? Then there was a time where he did it again, and he could have what we call a bin choi. So you got an inward hammer fist, outward hammer fist, soy kill bin choi. So it's a rebound off the forearm, straight in the neck or the jaw, temple, right? So it's a smash hit, and the reaction of the guy's forearm getting hit at the right angle is too slow to recover to cover, right? It's too slow to recover the opponent's arm to cover for the bin choi, and that whips out so quick, and that outward hammer fist just will bounce off the forearm and straight in the face. Now, if you can parry the person's jab, just say I'm standing southpaw like Carl was doing, and he was going to say he was going to Chris was going to throw the 1-2. If I want to catch the right cross, I'll just parry the jab straight into, with the same hand, the soy kill into the bicep, right? And that will take out and cut the bicep, and that will take out that weapon, right? So what he done was, when he was trying to establish his jab, he got hit a couple of times, and soy kill means to shatter the bridge. And that bridge does not just represent now the whole forearm, but it's shattered your will the bridge to fight, right? Because sometimes you're not ready for that pain and it's a shock. And you may have thought, shit, did he just hit me? If you watch Chris's face, it's like when Carl hit him, he pulled his arm back, and what I got from it was, what, did he just fucking hit me with a hammer fist to the forearm? Did I just bang and he got hit again? Every time he tried it, and he just had to step off to the side. And then after he thought he was going to get hit again, he just went straight down the pipe with the left hand and just dropped him. And that's one in our system, what we do in Soikyo Binchoi and then a Satchoi straight down the pipe. A 1, 2, 3 rebound. And it could be over that quick, but a lot of UFC fighters are tough and they'll want to show the toughness and get cut up and blood everywhere and brain damage when they don't need to go punch for punch, especially a smaller fighter needs to get in. And if the guy's got the distance, you're going to get picked apart and he's going to be broken apart before he can land that strike and learn how to get in. But with the Soikyo and all the hammer fist, that takes away that fear because you can smash it, and if you're good at it, 9 times out of 10 you're going to catch the arm, and then from there your follow-up will dictate which way he steps or if he's, whatever he does after that. But soon as you've hit that forearm, that other punch should have been as a 1-2. And that's how it works, so quick. And you'll take out those arms. We want to shatter their will to throw a punch. So a lot of time in the Southern Kung Fu, the Haka arts that we teach and my friends teach, we condition those forearms just like a Thai boxer would condition their shins. And there's a reason for it. But if you're stuck at that distance of playing Kui Sau all night, you haven't understood the kicking, the punching range into the Kui Sau range, right? Or push hands or whatever range, right? Bridge range, the Kui Sau, right? So never forget that your striking is your first priority, rather than try to bridge the person that's punching fast like a boxer, and then they're chasing that person's bridge rather than they could be hitting the person. So sticking in and all that and all the drills that you see is only to teach you attributes of listening and to be in the right position. And then you should be able to try to apply that during your sparring. That little portion of how to get to that bridge, right? And then if you're doing the push hands and it's a circle or a square, however some people do it, right? It all depends on the school, but push hand is a push hand, right? But the attribute is once we touch, we got to already have a follow-up. And so the listening skill has to be so good that his hair follicle touches your hair follicle even. You should be able to feel which direction that bridge is going to roll under or over. That's not skin to skin. Just try and do sensitivity with a partner, especially hairy forearms, right? For the guys, I don't know, girls who've got those hairy forearms, I don't know. But for the guys with hairy forearms, just touch with your hair. Close your eyes, and one person either try to roll under, but keeping the sensitivity only on hair, and then roll over the top of the bridge, just touching the hair, pushing over the bridge like as if you're punching forward. the person that's feeling that now tries to counter that, but only hair, right? So that's another sensitivity part of the bridge, the hair follicles, right? They're little antennas. So there's not just pushing on the skin, there's pushing on the hair. If you want to get down to the true essence of listening, think about it. Right, so hats off to Cahill, Roundtree. That was sensational. I am now a fan of his. I will love to now go through all his other fights and see if he was doing anything different, because this is the first time I've seen this used in the way I would use it. And any UFC fighter, I would love to, for free, just show you a couple of things on a video. But if you want to understand it, I can. It's a true science, and you'll be able to smash and destroy your opponent. Because remember, when you're trying to hit him in the body and the head, he's trying. This is how most people are fighting in the UFC. It's ridiculous. Kicking, punching the legs, punching the body, kicks the head, throws, wrestling, takedown, ground and pound or submission, right? But they're copping all that punishment, unnecessary punishment, and knockouts after knockouts. If they're not as good as their next opponent, they've copped it, like Tony Ferguson, love you, but I feel bad that he's copping so many knockouts. If you just change the hammer fist fighting to understand the bridge, a lot of that can be easily cancelled out, deflected and smashed. They're going to end up with more pain than you. You got to first get past your opponent's punch to get to his body or head, right? But if you use hammer fist fighting, the closest thing to me, I'm going to hammer fist. And that's usually your hand. So if you try to grab me, bang, I'm going to hit you. Right? But we have to wrestling and clinch range, and I can kind of give him a shove or just frame off, bang, short hammer fist to the head without the much wind up. If you understand your shoulder guard. So there's a whole science, and a lot of this, there could be a new Uncle Dana, hit me up. I've got an absolute awesome different way of fighting, and it should be made into a real sport. Hit me up. But back to the bridge, all the Kung Fu people out there, I know karate people do it as well. I think Goju-Ryu and some other styles, they have a type of push hands and strength work on the bridge. So it's a vital part. For you to hit me, you got to get past my hammer fist is one part. My forearm is another bridge. And I got my rear hand. Right? So you got to get past 3 different parts to hit me in the body. So all I have to understand is how to read the jab or the cross, if it's a hook, or if he's going to go jab into a left hook or whatever, and you work the drills that I show, the job will be over so quick. You'll get your paycheck and go home and have a good feed and good sleep and won't be so injured, because getting hit in the forearm and taking out those weapons, you can't punch. You might be able to kick. So in Chinese Kung Fu, the way of thinking is get to that bridge, smash it, shatter it, destroy it, trap it, lock it, break it or get past that bridge. Some call 3 beats of the drum, general beating the drum, soi kill, chum choi, or bui choi. There's all different angles that the hammer fist can come from. Straight down, vertical, diagonal, horizontal, and upward 45, and upward vertical. So someone goes to shoot, you just drop your base and do a hammer fist, bang, upward. If one arm's down, bang, hammer fist up. In a street fight, then you hit the back of the head, back of the neck, hit the spine, kidneys, and you won't break your fist. So if you understand the concept of what a hammer can nail in millions of nails, and the hammer will still be a tough, still with the shape of the hammer, right? So it doesn't break that easy unless it's made in China. I'm sorry. No, but a good hammer, you can do millions of nails, right? Just like your hand, if you break it in your first punch in the street, and you've only got your left hand and you're not even a kicker, you don't know how to grapple, and then break your other hand. You see what I mean? So understanding the hammer fist and the bridge, timing of your opponent, how to read your opponent, will dictate what your follow-up will be after the hammer fist. But they have to reach you to get to you, and that's the perfect time to release your hammer fist. All right, guys, so I hope you enjoyed this little rant. I think it's to me, it's the most valuable part of fighting, although many rely or just train that so much that their striking game starts to lack, right? Especially if you're a traditional kung fu guy and all you do is chai sao all night, and there's no and same like push hands all night, and there's no competitiveness as in trying to hit each other, then it takes away from the exercise. You want to be able to work the exercise, go, okay, yeah, I understand what that is all about. Yeah, I push here, that gets them off you close off their center line, you pin them, sure, okay. How do I work that into my way of fighting? How do I get him to get to that bridge? Is his bridge down or up when I connect? Right? Do I fake low, get him to drop his bridge to try and block, and that's where I'm trapping, right? Shaya Jeet Kune Do as well. Yokomun, same with Landa. Punch low, get him to drop, bang, get the headshot at the temple. Same with the Bin Choi. Right, so there's a time and place to use all the bridge type of work and fighting. I absolutely love it, but never forget your striking game, because the striking, punching, palming, finger jabs, that type of striking is what I'm talking about. Because the hammer fist is still a strike, right? Right? It's an offensive, not so much a defensive, right? So it's an attack. If you got the mindset to attack and you've conditioned those forearms the right way, you're not scared of any punch. I've proved it with a lot of people. Get them, throw a punch, yep, okay, I'm going to hammer fist your hand. Ready? If I've been training and I know my game, and let him punch. It's usually the first strike, they go, fuck. And they're holding their arm, and it's like, whoa. And it's like a shock to the system. You know, the old Charlie horse to the leg, same, right? But on a more devastating reaction, because it takes it stun, the shock, the genjacking we call it, the shock goes into the body through the nerves, and that will give you a kinematic response. And there'll be a certain follow-up for that response that you should be already aware of. So if you know where you're hitting, where you're striking, how to set it up, how to get to that, how to make him, even when they start covering up their head, right? Just say I jab cross, and the guy puts his gloves up. Perfect time for hammer fist while he's got his hands up. Start smashing their arms and biceps, and smash their guard away from their head, face, and then bang, follow it up with a hook. Right? There's so many ways that can be utilized in MMA, and it's a shame that I've only seen this guy, Khalil Roundtree, do it exactly how I teach it. Absolute fan of his now. I hope to see more of him do that. Brother, reach out to me. I can give you some really good tips. You're a beast in your hands. Oh man, hammer fist would be unreal. Any of them. Robert Whittaker as well. I'd love to work with him. Good Aussie, same as Israel. He's got those long arms, he'll be able to throw it out and smash them as well. So yeah, I look at these fighters and I see shit, I could work with these guys, and that'd be absolute, have the fight over and not have a scratch on them, because they got the speed, that type of way of movement. That's what I look for, and that's what I develop in a student, is how to move, how to generate that power. Like I said, the hammer fist shouldn't be wound up and telegraphed. It's only a small circle, but the whole body has generated this force behind it. And if you do it right with the right angle, as you see, Roundtree dropped him because he just smashed through the defense of Chris Dukas. And it was, we have to watch the video. It's in slow-mo, the retraction of the arm, his whole persona and look of, what? Did he just fucking hammer fist my arm? And then bang, he did it again. Yeah, he did. And then it's like, shit, will I throw another punch? And every time he goes to throw a punch, am I going to get that, or am I going to get something else? So it keeps that person thinking and going, shit, if I'm going to get that, I better change my other hand. Bang, that gets going. You start smashing that inside the bicep, inside the ribs, right? Break the collarbone, just come down with a hammer fist to the head, right? Over the top, like throwing a baseball, right? So it's like an overhand right, but just as a small over the top. And you can break the collarbone, and that's over. So there's so many ways you guys can be finishing your fights without taking so much damage, because I am a lover of this sport. I think it's good for all martial arts, no matter the discipline, because fighting is fighting. Yep, there's rules. You got to have some rules. You can't be trying to gouge out eyes, pull the ears off. You know, the ears are one of the easiest things to tear off a human body. Not much force, so imagine that. While you're grappling, I'll just tear an ear off. So no, you got to have some rules, but the basics are there, and basics are the most important, right, everyone? Alright, so that's enough of Kui Sau Bridge Hands. Tau bless you all. Hope you enjoyed this. Much love to Carl Roundtree. Absolute big fan of his now. Continued the hammer fist. That was awesome. Peace out. To the next episode. Much love.